Okay, fifth graders, this is your progress monitoring, your 3-minute test for week 13. Okay, read the title first, Faster Than Sound. Make sure you're reading along. Have you ever heard a loud boom sound as an airplane flies overhead? What you heard was the sound of the plane breaking the sound barrier. A sonic boom is an explosive sound made when an airplane travels faster than the speed of sound. How does this work, and what does a pilot named Chuck Yeager have to do with the sound barrier? First, let's return to the airplane in the sky. As the plane moves through the air, it pushes air molecules out of the way. This microscopic process creates waves which consist of compressed and uncompressed air. They spread out from the plane in all directions. This process is similar to the ripples that you make when you toss a pebble in a pond. Imagine the plane getting faster and faster until it surpasses the speed of sound. At this point, the air pressure waves build up in front of the plane and compress or squeeze together to form shock waves. The process is easier to understand if you picture the waves building up at the front of the fast-moving boat. Hold on just a minute, Sean. The shock waves move away from the plane toward the ground. You hear the boom because of a change in pressure when the shock wave reaches your eardrum. The larger the aircraft is, the louder and stronger the shock waves are. What does Chuck Yeager have to do with this? Chuck was the first person to fly faster than the speed of sound. He was trained as a fighter pilot and later became a test pilot. He was selected for the flight because of his superb flying skills, his calmness under pressure, and his ability to recognize and handle aircraft problems during flight. Almost done. The plane in which he broke the sound barrier was designed for maximum speed and had a rocket engine. Because of its limited fuel, it was carried to a flying altitude in the belly of another aircraft and dropped into the sky. Years later, Chuck trained U.S. military astronaut candidates. He remained the top test pilot for the military for many years, flying more than 300 new types of aircraft. He had some close calls, including losing control of one airplane that spun, tumbled, and flipped for 50 seconds before Chuck could land it safely. On another flight, he bailed out of the plane and was injured when the plane exploded. Chuck is one of the most decorated pilots of all time. He has received the two highest honors that can be given to any person in the United States: the Congressional Medal of Honor and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. 50 years after he made his historic flight, Chuck made his last flight as a consulting test pilot. He flew an F-15 fighter, and yes, he broke the sound barrier. Yes, Sean. Do you have a comment about the story?
Yes.
What's up?
I do hear loud bangs at night.
Uh-huh.
Because I hear like boom,
Uh-huh.
boom.
Yeah, me too.
Over and over again.
That's because if you live close to the base, you hear them. You know, when the soldiers have to go to the field and practice,
Yes.
bombing and all that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
we can hear that. Like,
I hear the
my house is like right next to it. I hear the machine guns, I hear bombs, I hear the yeah, and we just get used to it. Oh yeah, the trumpet.
We hear that too.
Yeah, I heard it after
every time I get
school.
home.
At 3 o'clock.
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
At 3 o'clock, yeah.
And then yesterday when the
I heard it
song
yesterday.
came on,
Uh-huh.
it was like the when it has the football,
Uh-huh.
not a football game but baseball game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
how to say it.
Awesome.